This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Gi Joe Classified series Tunnel Rat. Got some nice artwork here on the side, some product renders on the back, highlighting the little Tunnel Rat logo on his arm. Another small facial bit on the side here with a QR code. I finally followed one of those. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you additional information about the character, it just takes you to a Hasbro page. So I did, however, look up a little bit of information on Tunnel Rat here. Some of it I already knew. His actual name is Nicky Lee. He's from Brooklyn. His military specialty is explosive ordnance disposal. Also, of course, obviously, being that he's also called Tunnel Rat, he is one who will go into enemy tunnels. Just a little quote here. Tunnel Rat believes that anything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. His feeling about crawling into an enemy tunnel with a knife in one hand, pistol in the other, and flashlight in his mouth is simple. He can shoot straighter, bite harder, and run faster than anything he's ever encountered in a tunnel, so why worry? This comes from one of his file cards from the 80s. Let's go ahead and open them up. When I looked up what a tunnel rat actually was military-wise, it's a group of combat military people who would go into enemy tunnels, mostly in the Vietnam era war. Is really when they first came about. They were usually shorter of stature, a little bit smaller to fit in the tunnels. They also had to be able to tolerate small enclosed spaces more, and you know, here we have our figure trapped in the package. And oh, look, they used plastic bindings to hold them in place instead of the little weird paper ones. Uh-oh. Oh, the box doesn't say plastic-free packaging this time either. Look at that. Although to be perfectly honest with you, I would kind of have preferred the paper ones because I hate these plastic tabs even more than I hate the paper ones. They, of course, have some more black and white artwork on the inside, which is something that they have been doing more often on these. Of course, if they're planning on going back to the retro cardback style for most of the figures in the future, which is kind of what it sounded like during the Hasbro PulseCon that they did just recently, this probably won't be seen anymore. Let's go ahead and open up his box of goodies. This guy should be coming with a lot of additional accessories. Okay, so we've got his backpack here. Giant backpack. He's got two flashlights, which attach to the backpack. Although it is kind of funny when you think about it, because this is great if he's in a tunnel where he can actually walk upright. But if he's actually sitting there crawling through it, these flashlights are going to be pretty much useless like this. But they are standard military flashlights. We've got his Indiana Jones style pouch. If you look at pictures of the vintage figure, this pouch actually has the letters TNT on it. And we have the ammo for his really bent rifle. And honestly, it looks pretty much like it's a sniper rifle. I'll have to heat it up and get it to straighten out. However, you can attach the clip to it. So it looks like it's feeding the... Well, it really can't be a sniper rifle if it's got an actual, like, belt feed to it, so... A heck of a scope, though. We've got a revolver, which we, of course, can fit in the holster on his shoulder. This guy comes with a lot of stuff hanging off of him. Knife, which will go in the knife holster here in the back. They also give us this night vision goggle setup here, which is kind of nice. Although it would have been better if they had made it so that the goggle part could flip up. We can fit that over his head, like so. And he can see in the dark. And I guess if you want to try to do that look where it's just kind of like sitting on top of his head, you can do it like that. Speaking of which, he's got a really nice head sculpt going on here. Again, we've got that shoulder detail showing that he's a tunnel rat. These are not tattoos, but rather just paint to help hide him in the dark, apparently, but I think he'd be using a lot more. But same paint's also on his face. Kind of surprised they didn't give us a second set of hair where doesn't have the bandana on. That would have been kind of nice, actually. I know there was a Night Force version done of Tunnel Rat back in the 80s, and I've seen images of a Tiger Force version. I think the Gi Joe Collectors Club did do a Tiger Force version officially, and I think maybe the O-ring version may have been released in the UK and Europe, because I haven't seen any real information on that version being released in the States, but I could be wrong. The bend in the weapon makes me think of some of those old like Looney Tunes cartoons where they bend the rifle and it causes the bullet to shoot around and hit the guy in the back. So Tunnel Rat here has standard Gi Joe articulation. We've got butterfly joint, arm swivel and out, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. The hands have the, spin, but in this case, he's got the up and down cut. We've got the ab crunch, waist swivel with a ball joint, the drop down hips for posability, thigh cut, double jointed knees with the knee pads on there for crawling in the tunnels. Boot cut, well, I guess in this case it would be a shoe cut, not a boot cut, huh? Does the standard swivel here and around. Ton of this equipment, like, I'm honestly surprised it stays on him as well as it does. Now, one of the things I saw mentioned before, I think, was the tunnel rats tended to be shorter in stature, so put him up against Gung Ho here. He is, in fact, a lot shorter than Gung Ho. let's. And he is shorter than a Cobra Trooper. So they did, in fact, stick with that whole thing where the tunnel rats tended to be a little bit shorter than most military guys. Does, however, put him at about the height of the female figures. Hey, what do you say after this? We go ahead and go out and get something to eat. I'm sorry, I don't date short men. Really? Thanks. Tormod's actually a really nice looking figure. I mean, I cannot believe the amount of added accessories that he comes with. The original toy, like most of this stuff was all sculpted on in the old toy. Um, but anybody who's been picking up the classified GI Joes and know about the old ones knows that you didn't get like the guns and knives that come off. So overall, this is a really nice looking version of Tunnel Rat, and I do hope to see them do the Night Force version, which did come out in the 80s. And I would like to see them do the Tiger Force version, although the color scheme on that one is really goofy, even for like Tiger Force. Hmm. I can't get his. Honestly, feel feels like his hand here is actually almost too small to really grip his rifle. Of course, getting past all of his added accessories to hook the backpack on is also an interesting thing to try to do here. Apparently, I am just failing left and right at that. But there you have it. That is our G.I. Joe Tunnel Rat explosives expert. I hope you liked and enjoyed this. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace and love.